We are back. Yes, with some more Train Simulator Classic. Right, and okay, so this is a request video. It was based on my last video where I said, yeah, I'd like to, for my next video, to drive the 411, 412 on a route. Obviously it has to be a third rail DC electric, but I didn't know which one. So the request actually came through from Luke Hoser, who suggested the Brighton line. So I'm going to do the commuter train home from London Victoria to Brighton at 5:30 in the evening. Okay, we can make it clear. We've had enough miserable weather in the last few streams and outside. So, yes. So he gave me the request and I said I'd be doing it today, and he said he's going to do today exactly the same route, but he's going to use a much more modern train to see if there really is that much of a performance difference. I mean, yeah, these trains, these old ones, are perfectly capable of doing 90 mile an hour, which I think is the max speed on this route, so it will be interesting. So what I'll do, I will pin a link to his video doing the same route onto the comments on this once he's made it live. So we've agreed the stations we're going to stop at. So from Victoria, we're going to be stopping at Clapham Junction, then East Croydon, then Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges, Haywards Heath, Hassocks, and if possible Hassocks. Yeah, I think we can. Let's say if we started at Brighton. Yeah, Hassocks is there. Yeah, so we should be able to stop at Hassocks. My only thing is that Brighton Fast is the only destination when you start on London Victoria. So Hassocks could be a little bit questionable. But then, of course, he will have exactly the same issue as me. So the intention is to stop at Hassocks, but if it's not available because we're on a bypass track, then we won't be. Right. Okay, so we're in the Class 412. We're in Network South East livery. We're in 12 coaches because I like long trains. Okay, that may affect the performance of this train. It may not, but we will see. Right, so this is the Armstrong Powerhouse one. And with that said, we are ready at Victoria. We'll probably be on platform 16. They're the ones from Victoria that go down the Brighton line, I believe. 13 to 16, so we'll see what one we end up on. But you know, this is a commuter fast train back to Brighton. Okay, right, let's get this underway. Right, here we are at London Victoria. Let's do first things first. Okay, we've got to set our number up. So we're going to be at 59, the Brighton line. A bit further, there we go. And this one here. Oh, I think we've missed it. Oh, we have 5 here. Yeah, there we go. So I'll line those arrows up. Right, here we go. Okay, let's just get our cab set up. Where do we... There's our restart. I just want some lights on. I think we may have to do it from outside. So let's try. Look at that. Old train resurrected, and it's quite filthy as well. So cab lights on, headlight on, headlight off. It's lit up the number of the train very well, but I didn't see a switch over here for it. Let's have another very quick look. Don't want to waste too much time doing this. What's that? I saw something that said head code. Right wiper. Head code crank. There's something for the head code light. Obviously not. That's the handbrake. Okay, well, looks like if it's anywhere, it will be here. So, overload reset, aux power on, blah, blah, blah. Headlight switch, we've got the lights on. Cab lights are on. Instrument lights on. Demister we don't need. Head code light switch, there we go. There we have it, that we're all ready. Okay, let's let everybody slam the doors. Just getting on. Let's put the brakes on slightly and set the oh, we might have to do a key here. Master key, yes. I think there's another one for the reverser key. I can find the reverser. And okay, well, we're off anyway. So let's oop. Oop. Okay, yeah, we've got to let those brakes discharge. And we're off. It's okay, exactly 34 minutes past 5. We were 4 minutes late because of me messing around turning things on. But we'll use that and get our time right. We're on a 20-mile-an-hour limit here. Get a little bit closer to 20. Okay, we got green lights. That's what we like to see. And we will be in a 40, then a 45 very quickly. We will be going over the bridge right by Battersea Power Station, which is now a very expensive shopping centre. I mean, yeah, admittedly they do have some nice kit in there, but Christ, you've got to pay for it. I see we can get a nice shot of us going past Battersea Station, or Battersea Power Station, as there is now. Slight uphill, so we had to increase the notch there a bit. Oh, we're at 40. Look at that. Try and get one with Battersea in the background. I will be keeping an eye on the speed, don't worry. But hey, now that is worthy of a screenshot, I think. And I've managed to mess up my game. There we go. Won't try that again. Yeah, look at that. I'm floating on thin air. There we go. We'll just switch it back to that. Yeah, hasn't rendered the textures in there. Just by hitting the screenshot button. That's interesting, isn't it? I'm sure it'll all pop in as we get further down the line. Yeah, there we go. Right, 45 is our top speed. And then shortly at 60, when we will be heading towards Clapham Junction. We've just gone past Battersea Park. Might have to do a little bit of braking here. Bit of controlled braking as we head towards the 60. The Class 377 Electrostar. Wondering what the hell I'm doing on this line. Ah, speeding. Didn't quite get to that in time, did I? Not a problem, no. I needed to brake anyway, as we're shortly going to be arriving at Clapham Junction, platform 13. So one speeding error already. But we're now in a 60, so once we've finished at Clapham, we can then pull away without having to worry about anything. Right, we can get the whole train onto the platform, I imagine. This easily takes 12 coaches. I have often been on a southern train consisting of 12. We'll just make sure we pull right up to the end. And we get the whole thing on. Okay, that'll do. Slightly short, but we'll let everyone off. We did get the whole train onto the platform, which is the main objective. Wait for the ding ding from the guard. You see quite a lot of old photographs that look like that. I think we may have missed the ding ding from the guard. So, oh no, there we go. Right, we will accelerate right out to 60. Next stop on the way will be East Croydon. There'll be quite a few stations we'll be going through. We will do our usual trick and so we can scare the shit out of people who are standing on the platform, minding their own business. Right, there we see the Portsmouth direct line going off down there towards Woking, and all the stations that featured in Lucosa's very recent video. I want to hear the way the third rail switches sides a lot. Yeah, so Wandsworth Common being one of them. We will be smashing through that at 60. And it has not taken us long to get to 60. Right, notch 2, it's not really doing a little bit. Look at that sight. Absolutely brilliant. There we go. We tooted the people on the platform. But we've got Balham coming up, so we'll do exactly the same there. Let's just see if we can get a bit nearer 60. Ooh. Now the standard tone isn't very loud on this, is it? Yeah. Oh, we're at 70 now. As we head towards Streatham. And in true Armstrong Powerhouse style, we've got some dead insects on the windscreen wipers. On the windscreen, sorry. We can wipe those off. So we can find a sweet spot for 70. Here between notch 2 and notch 3. Well, that's changing. Right, Streatham Common. At Norbury. Anyone on the platform? No. So Norbury less than a mile away. Right, can't seem to find a sweet spot. Right. Okay, is there anyone there? No, bloody deserted. Thornton Heath, then Selhurst. I think this train doesn't really. I think it holds whatever notch you have until you set it back to naught. I think that's so. When you hit your speed, you've got to go back to naught and then notch up till you find your sweet spot. Right, so like that, and then like that. Oh dear, these stations are terrible. Right, oh, we're reducing down to 60. As we go through Selhurst, to the mighty Crystal Palace Eagles. See how good these brakes are. Yeah, a bit underestimated those a bit. Yeah, just in case. Right, and then East Croydon. Well, we got a 45-mile-an-hour stop. Well, stop, 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, but we will be stopping anyway. I don't even need to brake now. I'm only doing 58. Let's brake in a minute. Okay. Here we are at East Croydon. As we did before, and we will do with all the stations that we encounter, we will go right up to the end. If we can see where it is. Okay, still got a little bit further. See, moonwalked her way out. There we go, squeakity squeak. Right, while we're waiting here, let's just pour a glass of Coke. And there's our signal. Oh, we didn't have a look around, did we? Yeah, let's have a look at East Croydon. Not much of a view here. It's a bit of a concrete jungle around here. There is some quite high tower blocks around. Probably even more so than what you can see here. Okay, we've got South Croydon there. We'll be going straight through that. We are at 45, but we're about to hit 60. We may have to just ease off the throttle a little bit until the whole train can get across there. I'll stick at notch 3. So let's put it in notch 2. Just while that comes over. And then we're going to go straight to notch 4. And then we will be going through South Croydon as we accelerate on full to 90. There we go. I don't know where that line goes off to. Oh, and I'm speeding. That was remiss of me. Yeah, I was too busy with the external cam. I've got no excuse for that. I thought we'd get to 90 before we hit 60. We'll get through the 90 limit, but I was wrong. That's 2 speeding. There might have been a double event now because I was speeding for a good few seconds. Double event, make it sound like one of the Jack the Ripper murders, doesn't it? Right, we go through Pearly Oaks and Pearly. Let's top the old vape up as we get to 60. Well, I can't because that liquid bottle has run out. I'll grab one in a minute. Right, so this is where this thing does start to show its age. The acceleration after 70 is not that brilliant, although we will get there eventually. Let's just go through Pearly here. Not a soul on the platform there. Right, so we are mainly going to be 90, I think, most of the way towards Gatwick Airport now, which is our next stop. We'll go through Hawley. We might have a couple of stations on the way. Hopefully we'll be on the avoiding line for that if there is one. Right, let me just grab some vape liquid. Right, we're at 81, so we are getting there. This is where whatever modern train Lucosa is using for this exact route, this is where he would already be at 90 and controlling his speed. We're going through what was a tunnel, but they took the lid off it. Okay, I've managed to mute my sound somehow. I will see if I can fix that. So let's just drop this to notch 3. Oh, no, I can't. What we'll do, at the next station, I will see, when we get to Gatwick, I will see if I can fix it then. Hopefully it hasn't killed OBS. We're not quite at 90 yet. But yeah, we will be there very, very shortly. And here we are. This is a long old tunnel, isn't it? Okay, we're on a slight downhill, which is why I'm not losing a huge amount of speed, going at notch or notch 2, so but we'll put it to notch 3. We're back to notch 4. So what we've got coming up. Yeah, I doubt the sound's coming through on the game, so don't worry, I will fix that as soon as we get to Gatwick. Right, we've got an 80 coming up. Okay, I'm not in any panic over that. We've got a mile and a half for that. And that is only for, well, 300 yards or so, 400 yards, and then it's back to 90 again. Oh, Christ. Done it again. And again, this is a steep decline here. Right, let's brake for 80. And then once we are through that, we will crank it straight back up to notch 4 for 90. Right, no sign of any stations. Well, don't know what this is. That platform looks pretty abandoned to me. Right, our ETA is 27 minutes past. Hopefully we'll be at Gatwick in the next few minutes. Right, ain't all that far from East Croydon. And after Gatwick we'll be at 3 bridges where the track will divide. We will be going off down towards Haywards Heath. The other side goes down the Arun Valley, which is Crawley, Horsham, and Arundel, and down that way. That's normally where the Bognor, Littlehampton trains go down that route. Although they can go via Brighton if necessary. They sort of skip Brighton out. They turn at Preston Park and don't actually go into Brighton. They just go round near it. Oh, this is a bit shit without sound, isn't it? Come on, I don't get the Gatwick. Oh, there's Hawley, so we know that Gatwick is like 3/4 of a mile away from there. Yep, there it is. So it'll be a good one. We'll be braking from 90. So I reckon we can do that in about a mile in this thing without sort of braking too hard, but we'll see. Got to give it a go, haven't we? Right. There we go. We are a mile from Gatwick, so let's start with some braking. So we go through Hawley. Hopefully we can get the whole train on. I might need to apply a bit more. We're half a mile and we're still at 60. We want to lose another 30 miles an hour before we get to the start of the platform. I think we're going to do that. Yeah, so the brakes are pretty good on this thing. Well, we see a plane come in front of us from left to right, landing on runway 8 left. Okay, usual, we will go right up till the end. Lots of squashed insects on our windscreen. No, we can't get the whole train on here. But the last carriage will not go on. Even though I'm slightly short of the 12 car stop, it wouldn't have made any difference. The last carriage would not be able to get off. Make us sit there and watch as their plane takes off. Right, let's see if I can fix the sound quick. Right, we didn't, so I will, yeah, I don't really want to restart the game if I can help. Right, so I did restart the game because I have got no sound at all. So let's carry on where we left off. Okay, master key. So I set the time to 6. It was around 3 minutes past when I quit it. So everybody's on. Let's get this underway. Ooh. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right, so we are in a 30 at the moment. Because we've got 3 bridges coming up soon. And once we are sort of accelerating up to 90, I will redo the head code. As you can see at the moment, we are not showing one because where I reset the game. And we are ready to go to 90. That speed limit wasn't on there. Oh, and I've got, yet again I did that too far. Right, that's better. So as we were, yeah, I put something down and moved the headphone cable, and it sort of completely buggered the sound up. Hopefully, it won't have buggered the recording up. So our next station is Three Bridges, which is in just over a mile and a half. Okay, we will start slowing down at about 3/4 of a mile away. That'll be about now. Those braking sounds are exactly what they sounded like. I think we've braked a little bit early. Yeah, I should give these brakes a bit more credit. Yeah, I could have done with starting braking half a mile away. There we go, there's the platform up there. Okay, 3 bridges, and then we will see the track divide, as I said earlier, just after we come out. So, as usual, we will try and get right up to the end of the platform. And then we will let all the people off who want to go to Crawley. 10 and 12 is here. Okay. Oh, not that it matters. Okay, here we are. Let's let people off. And let's listen to that lovely slamming door sound. It can't beat it. Right, come on, guard, give us a tinkle. Okay, don't then. Ugh, took your time. Right, okay, we will go straight to 90. If you can use this. You can. Yeah, you can. I just wish I'd read the instructions. Right, let's give it some early notch 4. Let's get to 90 a little bit quicker than we would do normally. So, 3 bridges. Next station is Haywards Heath, where the train normally divides. Okay, and the rear 8 coaches do the stopping route down to Brighton, and the front 4 do the fast route. Well, we're going to be doing the fast route with all 12 carriages. Especially as I don't yet know how to decouple in the middle of a scenario. Okay, we've got an 80 coming up. I'm not overly worried about that. Oh, did I bring an extra can of Coke out? I'm a bit thirsty. Yeah, I did. So we might just have to come off the accelerator a bit. Throttle. But I think we will be sort of hitting 70 and accelerating slowly from 70 past this 80 miles an hour, which is going to be uphill anyway. Oh, I never get fed up looking at that. Very, very well painted, this train. It looks old and dirty and well used, which obviously it was when I knew it in the 80s. And, you know, you'd have to scrub it for a month with a toothbrush to get it looking any cleaner than it is. Right, okay, we are in the 80. We may get to 80 before we get to the 90. I'll keep an eye on it this time. Okay, we're on a very slight uphill, 1 in 250. And yet another tunnel. And we're 90 as we are going into the tunnel. There we go. A bit of notch play there. So we are going to smash through Balcombe at full speed. There we go, let's get rid of them insects off. Oh, how do I turn them off? Ugh, can't turn the wipers off now. That's it. Okay, Balcombe. Balcombe. There's someone there. Let's watch that speed. Notch 3, we don't have to lose it here. Obviously notch 4 will increase us, so yeah, no sweet spot. So I'll keep it notch 3 for now until we sort of go about 87ish, then push it back up to 4. Oh, we are accelerating very slightly. Yeah, we're on a downhill now. Only very slight though. Over that viaduct. That is nice, isn't it? Very nicely done. Haywards Heath coming up. I'm going to try and start braking just under a mile away now, because I am not giving these brakes enough credit. They are better than I thought. Right. Okay, let's go for it. We are breaking down from 90, so been a little bit ambitious. I think we'll be fine though. No bother. Right, let's see if we can stop right by the 12 car point at the end of the platform. Right, 6 and 8. Where is 10 and 12? I see 10. There's 12 right at the end. Okay, still a bit short. But the whole train is on the platform. There we go. Slam those doors. God, another tunnel. There is a lot of tunnels in this route, isn't there? Come on. Right, 90. So as soon as we get up a little bit of speed into double figures, we're going to whack it straight into notch 4. It's a nice dry evening. So no wheel slip. Right, Haywards Heath. So the next station, if we can do it, will be Hassocks. Right, let's pour my other can of Coke. Thirsty work, this traversal of the Brighton line. Right. Yeah, this thing gets to 60 and 70, no problem, almost as quickly as a newer loco, but it does start to struggle after that. I suppose the electric traction engine is a bit older and not as efficient. A bit older, yeah, about 50 years older. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting bridges on this route, viaducts, lots of arches, sort of small thin arches rather than one big one. Right, Wivelsfield is coming up, we will be hurtling through there. As I say, we'll wait and see if Hassocks appears. Hopefully it will, and we can stop there. I did choose Brighton fast again when I restarted the game, so it wouldn't take me on take me off an avoiding line. But here there's 2 tracks anyway, so I think we're good either way. Another viaduct. Yeah. All little tunnels. And every house there looks the same. That's first one I've noticed. Burgess Hill is sometimes a stop, but we haven't agreed to do that one, so we won't. We'll go to Hassocks instead of Burgess Hill. Right, there's Wivelsfield. What a name. Sounds almost like a German word. Wivelsfield. Right, Burgess Hill. Ah. Oh, I don't know why that's funny. It isn't. That's the thing. It literally isn't. Right, Hassocks is there. Right, 1.5 miles to go. We're not quite at 90. But we are going to stop there regardless. Because that's what I've agreed to do. Right, okay. Yeah, these brakes are good. They are good. Some slight adjustments as we come in. Right, I don't know how long Hassocks is, I can't remember, despite the fact my uncle lived here for decades. Mind you, we always drove there, never really went on the train. Okay, so it's just stop here, regardless of how long you are. So, I think we're going to get all the train on. There we go, that's more like it, isn't it? Right up where we should be. There you go, see, the door right next to the driver is opening now. Okay, right, our last stop is Brighton, which is 7 miles away, but we are in a 90 zone, so we should get through those quite quick. The only thing about restarting this game is didn't get to see the speeding errors. I had 2 speeding errors between London and Gatwick. I think. Actually, it might have been 3. I can't even remember. I didn't look at it. I was too busy trying to get the sound working. Let's call it 3. We'll give the transport police the benefit of the doubt. I had to speed. I was deaf. Alright, we have a couple of little stations way through. I know one of them's Preston Park. Not that many trackside. It's all drone, isn't it? I know. Looks good from whatever angle this train does. Look at it. Even got some windows open there. It's summer and there's no aircon on these trains. Okay, we're in a tunnel now, so those external views no longer apply. This is a long old one, isn't it? Yeah, a certain person who's doing this route as well today is not keen on tunnels. Oh, probably not the best route for him. Right, 75 mile an hour coming up while we're not even that there yet, so I reckon we can get to about 80 and I'll quickly do a bit of braking. Right, we're finally out of the tunnel. And we're back, that was the external view. So yeah, I think we're not going to get much 90 mile an hour in the next 4 miles. Do a slow brake here. Slightly more. Yeah, I think we've peaked our top speed for the route. Right, that's Preston Park. Oh look, another tunnel. Thick and fast, these tunnels. We might as well be on the fucking tube. It's like being on the bloody sort of semi-subterranean, like the district line, isn't it? That means Brighton is coming up, and so it is a 40 mile an hour speed limit. Yeah, 2.2 miles to Brighton. And then we're down to 25, so yeah, we're definitely approaching it, aren't we? Right, Preston Park. Look how good those brakes are. Right. Let's keep it on notch 1 for a minute. Then we'll start braking for the 25. Don't need to go too mad on the brakes. Only got to lose 12 miles an hour in a quarter of a mile. And these brakes are pretty fucking good, actually. There we go. We braked well early there. There's our single yellow. So if I add a minute or so on, I reckon it took about an hour in this train. I'll take off the time I spent pissing about with the reverser and head code, etc. But yeah, about an hour, I'd say. Apart from the little glitch in the middle, which I've accounted for. Oh. Oh, well, there we go. Well, the whole train is on. Let's let everyone off. There you go. All change. Here we are at Brighton. And there's a more common occurrence here in 2025. A Class 377 Electrostar. Right, no speeding errors for the second half because I'd gotten used to the thing. So there we go, I reckon about an hour. This is only going from Gatwick, but yeah, about an hour. Right, okay, so I will pin a link to Lucosa's version of this route. It should be exactly the same, but in a much newer train. And we will wrap this up. And we will see you on the next one.